Today's video is going to be Italy themed. I think you can see that with a couple pictures in the background here. I have the Ponte Vecchio, and I have sort of a landscape of Florence, Italy. And with me also I have my Alpini mocha machine, I like to call it. And it's really cute. The lid is actually an Alpini hat, hiking hat. And I've never used this, but it's really nice. So you'll see this from time to time, my Alpini mocha. But welcome. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Welcome. And I hope you like this video. So basically this video is going to be about buying a property remotely overseas. So, or basically buying a property overseas remotely. So in my case, it was attempting to buy a property in Italy from the US. So not ever going over there, not doing boots on the ground, not looking at properties, and just trying to purchase one. So at first flush, this may seem, why would anyone do that? Well, it's pretty common. And for the most part, I would say it can be pretty straightforward too at times. For me, that's not been the case. But just because it hasn't been that way for me doesn't mean it's a bad method. But I wanted to explain the process to you a little bit in case you're thinking about buying a property remotely. So I was looking for a property. It's been about a 5-month search now. So for 5 months I've been doing this. And it's been frustrating, I have to say. And the biggest reason is because buying a property overseas is different than anything you've experienced. If you've ever bought a property here in the US, or I'm sure even in the UK, Australia, and places like that. It's very different in other places, especially in Italy in this case. So I found properties. In Italy, when you see a property and you really like it, you make what's called a preliminary offer. And that's much more than just a regular offer you would do in the States for a property. It's actually a kind of a contract in and of itself. So you basically put the price that you want to buy the property for, you notate that. You typically have some earnest money you need to come up with. It could be anywhere from 5 to 10%, sometimes even 3%, just depends. And you can make it contingent upon an inspection. They have in Italy what's called a geometra or a geometra, and they are kind of like an inspector. They're a little bit more involved because here an inspector literally will just inspect your house, and they don't even get that hard into it, that deep into it. They just usually don't. Been through the process several times in the States. I kind of know how inspectors operate. But in Italy, it's very different. The geometra, they will actually do all of the things that an inspector here does, but they'll also look at systems. They'll look at electrical systems, plumbing systems. They will also go to the local city hall or comune, and they will verify the blueprints of your house with what they have on file. So they do that as well. There's also a state version of blueprints, if you will, that have cadastral plans, they're called. So they will also make sure that those designs match what the comune has, as well as what's in your place, the place you want in reality. So it's a three-way match, if you will. We don't have that in the United States. So because of that, there's times when the plans don't all match. And when that happens, then you have problems because yes, you can still sell your place. The owner can still sell to a prospective buyer, but they have to consider now that the new buyer will have to rectify these problems between the different agencies, or they will ask the owner to do that. So I had a place where it was an apartment in the Genoa area where I really liked the apartment, and I actually offered $2,000 more than the other person who wanted that property. But the owner decided to go with the other person. because the other person would just handle the issues him or herself, and they were willing to take that on, whereas I wasn't. So you have that situation come that can happen. Another time, I found a place. It was a nice townhouse, and the offer I made was a good offer, and the owner liked that offer, and so the offer was made, and I hired a geometra, the inspector, to go ahead and do his thing, and he did. And he took a video as well as additional pictures. Now that's one really important thing. You have to get a video of the property you want to buy. Pictures in and of themselves do not do enough justice to what you're looking at. You really, really need a video. And you want the video to really highlight floors, walls, ceilings, exteriors, as well as the rooms themselves and, the bathroom and stuff like that, the kitchen. So on this one property that I'm talking about, the video came back, and the video showed some serious signs of water stains from the top ceiling area, which of course means water leaks. So you had a roof that was somewhat compromised. Also, there was strangely no video of the interior of the roof, the attic portion. That was strange. Kind of makes you wonder. Also for this property, the backyard, which was not initially in any of the pictures or in the video, the subsequent video, but I discovered it because the inspector took a few additional pictures, and I caught a couple of them in the backyard. And so when I zoomed them up, what I discovered was the backyard was essentially looking like a Roman ruin. It was a disaster. And so upon seeing that and looking at the water stains, on the ceiling, and a couple of other minor stuff, in addition to that major stuff, I decided, no, I'm not going to proceed with this deal. So the owner was upset. It can get emotional when you're dealing with owners in Italy. It happens. So that was the second swing and a miss. And then the third swing and a miss was a property that I really liked as well. And it was in the perfect area, and it was right where I wanted to be. It was an apartment. And I offered $2,000 more for this one than what the other person did. But the owner rejected my offer because he wanted to deal with a local person. Even though cash is cash, and you would wire that money over, the reason I got, the official reason, was that they wanted to deal with someone local. So there you have it. You run into these obstacles, and many of them you can't anticipate. Now, there's a couple really good things that I do want to point out in this process. There's two websites that are really, really good for searching for property in Italy specifically. One of them is actually good for searching for property in Spain as well. And the first one would be idealista.it. That's an excellent property search website. Another one is called immobiliare.it. Now, don't worry about how to spell all this stuff. I'll put both those links in the description. Excellent websites to start your search for properties in Italy. Here's the thing, though, you must remember, and that is there are no multiple listings in Italy like there are in the United States. So one website may have listings that another website won't have, and some of them they will share. And when you go to or talk to a realtor from a real estate office in Italy, they have exclusive listings. So the realtor in this area will have their own listings compared to a realtor that's maybe 2 blocks away. So they do not have a common list that they share. Okay, just so you know that. So one of the other things too is because it's pretty daunting to think, oh, I'm just going to buy a property remotely from the US and I'm going to just buy one in Italy. It really, really helps if you have help. So what I did is I researched a good Italian lawyer firm that helps people like me who want to buy properties in Italy. And they do everything from start to finish. They offer some searching, property searching, um, services to actually signing services where you give them a temporary power of attorney and they sign documents for you for the house purchase or the apartment purchase in front of a Italian notary. And that's excellent because they can do everything for you and you don't need to leave the comfort of your sofa at home, you know? And they'll mail you the keys when everything is done. So that's a service that I went ahead and signed up for. I mostly wanted them for the legal part of it, and that is the documents and the signing on my behalf and to making sure that, all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, right? Because you want it totally legal. And this service is really good for that. I found out about this service from a YouTube website. So I, like you, when I want to know something, go to YouTube. And I found a couple of good companies that offered these services, and I chose the one that I thought would be best for me. So I'll go ahead and leave some of that information in the description as well. So yeah, this is something you don't want to tackle alone. You can, but I don't advise it. And it's an adventure. It's going to take time. So for me, I'm just going to take a rest now. I've been trying to do this for the last 5 months. No success. I'm 0 for 3 at this point. I think I'm going to take a break and then revisit this in 5 or 6 months when, the market has changed, because Europe right now is going through a lot of similar things that we are in the United States from an economic point of view. So we'll see how the property values are in the next 5 to 6 months. And then I'll pick up my search and resume it. But I just wanted to make this video just to kind of throw this out there. Yes, it is possible to look around the world and find a place to buy. And you can do it, in a safe manner. It's just that you have to deal with the frustration because it's going to come your way. But anyways, I hope you like this video. Please like it, and please subscribe and hit the notification bell for new videos. And we'll see you again on the next installment of Retired in the World. Take care.